Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Value of Truth Ministries. I'm Brian Price. Today I have a special guest with me today, the Amazing Atheist. As you can see, he's pretty amazing. He's got some eyebrows going down like he's mad. That's because he is. He's always mad. And he's got a big smile like he's laughing. That's because he is always laughing. If you combine the two, you have a crazed lunatic. And that's exactly what he is, in my opinion. But other than that, he's quite amazing. And his jokes are quite funny. Don't you think so? Amazing Atheist. Yes! I think he's quite funny, actually. So, I wanted to talk to you today about why atheism is dangerous. Yes, my friends, it is dangerous. If you don't believe me, just do your research. Number one, it deceives people to believe a lie. Oh, and by the way, if you don't believe me, just watch this guy. He's quite dangerous. I'll explain why in just a minute. But it deceives people to believe a lie. My friends, if you believe that there's no God, you are believing a lie. The Bible says in Psalms 14:1, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Now, if we're telling people that nothing made them, that would be like me saying that nothing made this board here. As simple of a creation as this is, clearly you can see a beaver did not create this thing. An ant or an antelope, for that matter, did not make this thing. A squid didn't make this, but a man, flesh and blood, intelligence created this, okay? Now, to believe that there's no God would say that something as simple as this turned into something as complex as me. It just evolved and sprouted arms and legs. That is as silly of a teaching as atheism is, combined with evolution. Now, number two, it has caused more deaths than religion. How is that possible, you may ask? Well, if you take the Crusades and combine all the deaths over hundreds of years from the Crusades and compare them with just the dictatorship of Joseph Stalin, who is an atheist, by the way, and compared the deaths that he caused by his atheistic regime, you'll see that only about 5 million people died from the Crusades as opposed to 23+ million from his dictatorship over the Soviet Union, in which atheism was the state religion, so to speak. It was a non-religion. It was the accepted moral belief system that they had instilled in their society. It's what they chose, and that's what they taught their people, that there was no God, and so forth. But it caused more deaths in just that little bit of time frame in the 19th century as opposed to centuries and centuries of the Crusades. And then lastly, it sends people to hell. How does it send people to hell? Well, if we're telling people a lie, like number one, then they're believing falsely. And people are choosing to live however they please without any fear of consequence. And then when they wake up and they're dead, when they wake up in hell, they realize, oh my goodness, there is a God. Oh my goodness, my sin does have consequence. And oh my goodness, the gospel is true. So it sends people to hell. And people like the Amazing Atheist are no better than Joseph Stalin, who was a murderer, in my opinion. And the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. And if we go with that, we can say that his little tongue here is just as dangerous as a sword. And by his tongue deceiving thousands of people, and he has over 600,000 subscribers, we could say that he's extremely dangerous. He's a very dangerous man because he deceives people and sends them to hell through his deception and his heresy. So that is all I have. Thank you for listening to the Value of Truth Ministries. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something today. God bless you. I'm Brian Price.